Hey groupies, welcome back to Form of Therapy. I'm the video channel producer. You can call me PD, and today we are checking out Call 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 by 17. Now this is 17's Japanese debut music video, and I want to preface, it is against copyright policy to react to any Japanese releases on YouTube. Japan is incredibly strict about this kind of stuff, and it has nothing to do with the K-pop companies themselves. When a Korean group goes to Japan to promote, they have music videos, they distribute their music videos through a Japanese label, usually Avex. Those Japanese labels are incredibly strict about what you put on YouTube, especially reaction videos, and they're very anti against it. And so sometimes they just let it slide, and then like months later they might issue a takedown or a strike or whatever. So that's why, despite people constantly requesting it, that's why I'm not reacting to Chain by NCT 127 if by day 6, because they're Japanese releases. I decided to make this video just to reiterate that point, and what I'm gonna do in this one is I'm just gonna react to the music video. The music video will be on screen, however you will not be able to hear the audio because, like I said, it's gonna be against copyright policy. And before anyone points out, oh, but this reactor reacted to this Japanese release, this reactor to this, that, I feel like most people either don't care, or they don't understand copyright policy, or, you know, I tell people and they just won't listen. And there was this whole K-pop apocalypse thing a couple months back where people were getting strikes left and right, getting channel takedowns. I was perfectly fine because we don't do live stage reaction stuff. And I've been telling people you can't react to televised broadcasts, but they did it anyways. And there are still people who do it anyways. And same goes for Japanese releases. The storm is coming. There is gonna be a day when people are gonna get strikes left and right. It is just the day when Avex decides this is getting out of hand, we are going to issue takedowns, and then people are going to get strikes again. So this is also just like a preface for reactors in general. Kind of shy away from Japanese releases, or at least if you're going to do it, do what I'm going to do, which is just react to the music video. You can listen to it yourself, just don't include the audio in the actual video. And so for those of you watching this reaction, what you can just simply do is just play the song yourself, time it with my reaction, and you should be fine. It's extra work for the viewer, which is why I don't bother reacting to NCT 127's Chain or Day 6's Japanese releases. I don't want to like inconvenience you guys, but occasionally I'll do reactions like this just to drive that point home, because we have grown bigger and there are more people who don't get the message. So yeah, let's check this out. This is Call 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 by 17, and this is your form of therapy. Wow, very powerful opening. Even more so than Clap, I'd say. Immediately getting like a gang vibe. Okay, so there's like 3 gangs. Seungchar, Wonwoo, and June are the leaders, is the vibe I'm getting. Ooh. I love that this is like diving into like very much into the 90s Japanese aesthetic. Dude, Woozi looks so good. Bro, I can recognize Chong'an's voice even if it's in Japanese. The reverse dab. Oh my god. Even that effect right there of him on the motorcycle is like such a 90s thing. It's like 90s VFX. But I mean, I feel like this entire music video is just influenced by the 90s gang culture in Japan. Like Seungwan and Seungchar's gang is a lot more classier. Chongan, Woozi, and Wonu's gang is like more like the biker gang aesthetic. God. Oh my god, the 8 looks... The 8 was born to be in that role. Yo, did you hear that guitar? Oh my god. The reverse dab. They're innovating dab technology. Also, the obnoxious fucking mirrors. I love it. Oh my god. And the guitars at the end were so intense. Wow, that was intense. In my opinion, probably the most intense song they've done. Probably more intense than Paksu. Okay, first off, yes, they did do the thing that every K-pop group does, that when they debut in Japan and they have a Japanese release, it is a lot more intensified, you know? They bring it up to 11. EXO CVX had Horololo, Day 6 had their song. All of those Japanese releases are so much more intense because Japan, they are way more into, I feel like a lot more intense music. It's a very interesting contrast, especially based on Japanese culture, at least in their everyday life, how you have to be respectful and very polite and very well mannered. It's interesting how in media, Japanese people sort of are the complete opposite. They like very, very intense rock music. I think some of the best rock bands come out of Japan, One OK Rock, Miyavi, like it's just crazy. Even in entertainment, whether it's just PG or game shows or adult content, like they are always so extra. And so whenever a K-pop group has to debut in Japan, I feel like they've got to be a little bit extra. And this song was very, very extra. First of all, the line placement here, I'm not sure about distribution just yet, but the line placement here, it was very, very interesting to see Dino and Hoshi in the beginning, and to see how everyone was divided up, especially into different gangs. That was very cool too. And I loved how it started. Koops, Wonu, June starting off, especially Koops, like I have no idea what he was saying, but that was such an intense and very enthralling beginning. And overall, what I really liked about the song for this is that they did not half-ass those guitars. Like those guitars are heavy and they come in hard and they get very complex as the song progresses. They had a rock theme song in their director's cut album, but I thought that was it's sort of disappointing. I felt like the instrumentation and the vocal work wasn't all there, and it felt honestly like very un-17. I felt like the song wasn't very, very well polished in that rock song. And I think it might have just been an older song, because if you listen to this here, this is a lot more stronger. This is a lot more polished. Just listening to the instrumental near the end, I would think that this was done by a band, not by a pop group. And I love that they're stepping up their game in that regard. Chongan is slowly just transforming into NCT's Johnny with his haircut. I mean, poor Seun, he just must never come across Chongan, or it's gonna happen again. God, Chongan looks so good. Everyone looks so great. I think for me, and this has never happened before, but I thought the standout visually was Woozi. Now, the entire aesthetic of this music video, from the set dressing, from the visual effects, and just the hyper violence in this music video, and even the chorus itself, it's very reminiscent of the old 80s, 90s Japanese gangster era, and I love that so much. And Woozi with like the mini pompadour, it's just Woozi, and also fucking the 8 with his mullet. It's like those two were born to be in that biker gang look. It's so perfect. I thought Woozi, like again, like for me in a music video, several different people stand out at different times, but I thought Woozi kind of stole the show, with the slick back hair. Ooh, he just looks so sketchy. And the 8, like, god damn, he looked amazing as well. And on the production side, again, I really like that they pushed the retro look. A lot of landlines here. The video was very grungy. It had a lot of like neutral tones, but I liked that the only pieces of color here that really popped were, I think, in Vernon's little hideout or lair, there were red neon lights. In Wonwoo's gang, Wonwoo had a splash of red, and then Chongan was in all red. And then in the main choreography dance scene near the end, it was a very gray area, and then they had large red pillars. Like, these are such bold colors. It almost makes me think that this was directed by like Brian Fuller. Like, the red popped out, and I feel like it almost emphasizes the hyper-violence nature of some of these Japanese gangster vibes. You know, you ever watch like a Japanese gangster film or like school violence films, Crow Zero, like stuff like that? Like, hyper-violence is just a very big part of that sort of gang culture aesthetic in entertainment. And so I feel like having the splash of red here and there, just like only just a little bit, like really adds an intensity to this music video. It just feels very harrowing. Like, I just like I watched that music video and I'm just like, it's already over? What? And honestly, when groups do Japanese releases, I'm never really much a fan of that. Momoland just came out with Boom Boom, the Japanese version. First of all, that never works. When you transfer a Korean song to have Japanese lyrics, it always feels awkward and forced. And so I never like Japanese versions of Korean songs. Same goes for the reverse. I actually really like Mr. Taxi, the Japanese version by SNSD, but it doesn't work in Korean. I think it came out first in Japan, and then they released a Korean version of it in Korea. Just does not work. When you are making a song, because the cultures are so different and because of phonetics, I feel like you songwrite in very specific ways. And so I thought this was very Japanese. It lent well to Japanese lyrics, and I love how intense that was. And honestly, even though I ordinarily don't like Japanese import type songs, I have to say this is up there. For a K-pop Japanese release, I think this might be my favorite, or it's tied with another one. I'm sure many of you know Sayonara Hitori by Taemin. I love Sayonara Hitori by Taemin. This song, I think it kind of gives it a run for its money. But overall in the 17 discography, I also place this kind of high. I really liked it. I mean, I gotta re-listen to it more and more, but I definitely like this more than Clap. I kind of like that this goes crazier than Clap. Clap, I feel like with this song have very similar tones. They're very rock based, a lot of heavy guitars, but I feel like Clap was like, it's well paced, but this one's just kind of like it goes really fast, you know? For me, the intensity of this really drives it home. And this makes me really enjoy this a lot more than other 17 songs, because I feel like this is letting us see a side of 17 that is a lot more crazier than what we're used to. Anyways, guys, what did you think of Call 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 by 17? Did you love it as much as I did, or do you not like it? Let me know in the comments below what you thought. Also, thank you to our monthly groupies on Patreon. We could not do this without you guys. If you want to support us, go to patreon.com/formatherapy. For as little as $2 a month, you can support me and also get early access to reaction videos just like this. However, if you can't support us monetarily, that's completely fine. Why don't you just go ahead and click like down below? It helps us out a lot. Go ahead and click subscribe up here, and go ahead and tune in for all our reaction videos over here.